Hey, pilot, welcome back to Ready for Pushback. It's Nick Fialka. It's a solo show. Today we're talking about the pilot pyramid. It all started as a spark. Maybe it was the sound of jets racing across the sky, or the feeling of your heart racing as you watch a crop duster flying low and slow. Even then, you knew you were meant to fly. For pilots, it's more than just a job. It's a calling. The early mornings, the long hours, the relentless training, you didn't do it for the money. You did it for that moment. That moment when the wheels lift off and the earth falls away beneath you. But flying is just the beginning. The journey to your dream job takes more than just skill in the sky. It takes strategy on the ground and a lifetime of learning.
Most pilots don't understand what career opportunities are available in the world of aviation. Learn how to go from good to great, from flight school to regional to major, and from hopeful to hired. Whether you're sharpening your skills, building your resume, or preparing for that big interview, this is where pilots come to level up. Let's get ready for Pushback. Here's your host and my dad, Nick Fialka.
All right, so I've got to be honest. It's not really the pilot pyramid, but this came from my beautiful wife, Anna. And we were sitting in the library having a conversation, and she was talking about her friend pyramid. And I'm like, what in the heck is a friend pyramid? And she explained it to me, and I thought, wow, this is really, really, really useful for a pilot. And so we're talking about Anna's friend pyramid, which is now the pilot pyramid. And I might even trademark it because it's such a good idea. And so I want you to think about who you are as a pilot. Everybody starts as a B. You're in the middle of your journey. That's you. You're learning and you're growing and you're building and you're doing the things that you're doing. However, as a pilot, you can't do that alone. You have to be able to reach up, and that's where you find your A. Everybody needs at least one A. And if you don't have an A, you got to find an A. Because an A is somebody that's further ahead than you. They're more skilled. They're more experienced. They're better connected. They're wiser. They've done it. And there are different stratas of A's because there are people that can push you and mentor you and challenge you to level up, right? I have my A's. Everybody knows I talk about Michael Phillips as my first A. And he is the person that has brought me along in my career to help me get, some kind of sanity check. He's always the guy I look to have a conversation about that. However, he's not an airline pilot. And so I need other A's. And so when I was in training, I would look for an A in the regionals that had just gotten to where they are starting their journey and made it across the first goal that I was trying to accomplish. And they helped me get from an aspiring regional pilot to an actual regional pilot. And so that A helped me along with Mr. Phillips, motivating me and keeping me going. Now, you have to be careful on what your A is helping you with, because if your A is super duper senior pilot at a major and you are trying to get through flight school, he can give you some advice, but it might not be exactly what you need to get you to level up to that next thing. So you need to always be looking for that A that can bring you to that next level, and also somebody that can help you aspire to the future. And you have to go seek them out. You have to be intentional about that. You have to go to places where they are. You got to go to places like AirVenture at Oshkosh or Fun and Sun or your local airport or the FBO, whatever the thing is, wherever you're trying to get to, you've got to go meet those people where they are. You've got to ask questions, and then you've got to be coachable. You have to put yourself in that place where you can learn and you can develop. And that is how you get an A. Then you have to be consistent with that A to get the thing that is going to help catalyze your brain to help get you motivated to get to where you're going to be. And you can't be intimidated by the fact that they are doing the things that you want to do. You have to be able to go up and have a conversation with them and have and be persistent and be part of their life and put yourself in that place where they are going to talk to you. When I have my conversations with my A's, I'm persistent. We text, we call, we talk about the hard things, and that helps me become a better person. In life, I need A's. My Uncle Brian is my A for what it's like to be a successful father and to be a loving husband and that kind of stuff like that. You need your A's everywhere. And so your silo of your A in aviation parallels your silo of your personal life, right? So here we are. We're all a B. We have to aspire and try hard to find an A that can help us level up and not be intimidated by having to do that. Now, since you are a B, you need other Bs around you. You need peers. You need people that are going through the process with you. I look at Bs how I look at people in my Spitfire community, especially those that participate in our WhatsApp groups and things like that, and people that are working side by side, passing the gouge, passing the knowledge, helping those around them level up at the same time. Maybe somebody got a meet and greet. Maybe like a couple months ago, Delta changed their application process. They went from a third-party portal to their own portal, and there were a lot of hiccups with it. There were a lot of problems, and Delta has been kind of getting their way through it, which is great. And as it was going on, lots of people had lots of questions, and those people in the community, those Bs next to each other in our Spitfire community, helped each other. Hey, this thing just happened to me when I updated my address, or when I tried to upload a letter of recommendation, or when this thing changed and I got an error message. I sent an email to them. They gave me this feedback. They made these modifications. They told me to wait for this amount of time. All of that knowledge is spread out and distributed among the other Bs. And you can be a passenger in a big group, in a big WhatsApp group of Bs, or you can be deliberate and start a friendship and a close-knit relationship with a handful of Bs, because those are the people that are going to help you understand where you are in your struggle. They are going to help hustle with you. They're going to keep you motivated. They're the dreamers. They're the people giving you the camaraderie that you need because you have a shared goal. And since you have a shared goal and you have them adding camaraderie, it creates mutual support, and that's the Bs. So the Bs are the second layer of the pyramid, and so you need to invest in those Bs. You need to build the friendships, and that's fuel to your fire, because it gives you a broader outlook on all the potential things you could do. This can come into really big play when you are looking for some kind of job, when you are looking for something more niche. Maybe there is a low-time pilot job available and somebody knows about it. If you have a group of Bs that you're real tight with, like, that's where you get that information, and you can be first at bat to try to get that. And so if you're a person that doesn't like to have a group of friends like that, it's going to be a long and lonely road. You can't fly solo in aviation all the time. And you got to reach out. You've got to fly in formation. You can't fly solo. All right. And when you do, you're more effective. You can get a lot more done. Now, we've talked about the A's, the aspirational A's, the B's, the group of people, the three musketeers, the people that you align with that help you move forward. And now you need a C. So you've got to reach down. Remember, I did a show about lifting as you climb? A C is somebody a little earlier on the path, and a C is where you're volunteering and your mentorship and all of those good things come in, but you have to be deliberate and specific with C's and have C people, not just a large brushstroke of C's. You need people that you are helping, that you are giving the information to, and helping with their roadmap and developing it. And because right now they just have a blank sheet of paper and they're not sure what they're going to do. And you have already created some inroads there, and you can share that with them, and you can mentor them, and you can help them. Because when you offer help, like, that's leadership. Those are the things that make you the best. That's what makes you a bigger part of this this aviation career, and that gives perspective to what you're doing and seeing that you're making progress. It also gives you empathy for that person that you want to help. And, maybe things are going to work out the same way. Maybe they're going to work out totally differently, but it'll build empathy, and it'll give you a purpose. So your aspirational coming up to the A's, you're building your groups of people that can help you understand where you're going. And then you're going to reach back and help somebody else figure out which way to go. And that's where Anna's friendship pyramid, or Anna's pilot pyramid, is built. And the reason we came to this conversation is because we were sitting here at the house. We had dinner with a group of friends, and Anna's really good at the pyramid. And she's really good, and her big focus is a lot of learning. She's a big head. She's real smart. And so she's got her friend pyramid that works there. My friend pyramid pretty much works in aviation. And the bummer part is, I don't live proximal to many people. I got that are pilots, that are professional pilots that kind of do their thing. I got my buddy Al, I got my buddy Dave, and that's kind of it where we are, because we've moved a lot and we're kind of in this situation. But boy golly, I've got a big base of C's, and people that listen to the show, people I get to see at the meet and greets, like people that I just talk to here, and you're listening to me now. Like, hopefully this is me helping you see, right? And that is really fulfilling to me. I don't have anybody here at the house that I don't have a best pal that I'm going and hanging out with that I can walk over to his house, but that's okay. Right. But I fill my cup with the aviation aspect of what we do, because it's so good and it's so fun and it's so worthwhile. And I want you to think about why this pilot pyramid works, because it's a tight structure. Since they're stratified, sometimes there's interconnections between A's and C's and A's and B's and B's and C's and so forth. But it becomes balanced and it becomes sturdy, and everybody becomes better connected. And since they do, what it'll help you with is eliminating your ego. And it will replace all of your ego with empathy, because if you lived in a silo, you think you're the best at what you do. But when you spread it out and get your pilot community together, that's where you realize, like, we're all together in this. And it's you start seeing things as a community instead of you versus the world, because it's not you versus the world. There's no gatekeeper that's going to let you in, right? It's growth. It's getting better. It's understanding everybody's value, and that everybody belongs in the community. Everybody belongs in this pyramid, and that you might have multiple pyramids, but know that, like, there's like a lot of self growth in this pyramid. And then another thing it does is catalyzes your networking capability. You have a lot of people to learn from. You have a lot of people that you're walking with, and you have a lot of people that you're lifting up, and they are also doing the same thing. And as that stratosphere becomes bigger and stronger, then people aren't climbing alone. And then somebody finds out something on one side of the pyramid, and somebody on the far other side of the pyramid gets to benefit from that. And that's how the pyramid gets bigger. That's how it rises, and that's how it grows. So I want you to remember that you are the B, and you need to go find your A, and you need to walk with your B's, and you need to invest in your C's. And that's how you grow. That's how you lead. That's how you fly higher. And that's how you become part of the pilot pyramid. Hey, pilot, before you go, make sure that you take a quick second, like and subscribe to the podcast. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you so much. If you're listening on one of the podcast streaming services, you guys are the best. So please like it, subscribe to it. You have a chance, write a quick review. Tell somebody else why this show is awesome.